Okay, you should be back.
Yep.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the interruption.
It must have been when I said check your taxes that the internet decided what? But sorry, I'm a little bit of a comedian. But make sure you check your taxes, and your utilities are part of your taxes. We did have a case where someone was upset because they had a $4,000 water bill. That's part of taxes, and it's what you need to check. That's it. And you can have Louis now.
Okay, and I'm Louis Latham, the CEO of Culture Estate. We focus on all types of investments and distressed properties. So you're going to learn a lot today with our expert panelists. So jump right into our first property. All right, our first property on the screen is 208. This property is approximately 2,562 square feet. Let's go ahead and see what other information we're able to pull up. Okay, so this particular home is classified as a single family. It has 2 cars built in. To the Artesian Fields County Park. So it's a nice location. This home can be resold for approximately $525,000. You may want to budget up to $80,000 in repairs if it needs a lot of work. And this home can be rented for $4,000 a month if you decide to go that route. Nick, can we go to the next tab?
Can we scroll to the title? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, good luck reading this. Okay, so looks like there was a conventional loan for $418,000. Without my glasses, I'm not listening to wait. Sorry for the interruptions, ladies and gentlemen. I did not print out anything today, so I'm at a loss. So it looks like there was a 2006 mortgage. Thank you very much for bringing that closer. For $418,000 and a conventional for $40,000. There's no foreclosure data available on this thing, so I don't know what the judgment would be. But you've got to figure that maybe they've got into 10 years of paying, and so it should be a pretty large judgment. Can you go to the next page? Yeah, taxes are 13. There doesn't seem to be anything out there. So make sure you check those taxes, because if the mortgage company was not paying the taxes, all right, they're like $14,000 a year. There could be 2 years worth of taxes due, and that would be something you would need to consider. And if you do check the taxes and find there's a tax sale certificate and that the taxes are paid by the lien holder, that's all part of the lien. So you're going to have to figure out when the certificate came into play and how long he's been paying the taxes, because that would be part of what you would need to pay. Other than that, looks like there's only the one lien. So
there's only one for this one too.
Well, the second lien was a second, and that would be dissolved through the foreclosure, so you wouldn't really have to worry about it. And it's with the second bank, so it's a little equity line. That was a year after. So we got some.
Yeah, the exterior of this house has vinyl siding on the top half of the house and brick siding on the bottom portion. The roof is a 3-tab shingle roof. It looks like to be well maintained. The house in general looks well maintained. Front steps are in fairly good condition. Doesn't seem like to be anything.
On the purchase. If you add in the reno, most private lenders do include 100% of renovation for the most part. So total loan amount would be $360. If we're going off of 70% of the after repair value, it would have to appraise for $515 or more. So it would have to appraise, toward the higher end of those comps. Peter.
I think you better tell these people that you might go offline every now and then.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the technical problems, ladies and gentlemen. There will be times when we might just pop offline due to some technical arrangements, cloudy day. Sometimes things get a little fuzzy. So we're ready to start again. Thank you.
Sure. Our next property now is 348 West Clinton Avenue in Bergen. This home is approximately 1,180 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide where we can see that this was confirmed to be a single-family home, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. It does have garage parking, located near Bergen High School, and it has an 8-star rating in that school, so it's a good town for raising a family. The taxes on this slide are incorrect. They're actually $77.81. That was a typo, but this one could be resold for $310,000 if it's in good condition. Budget $50,000 for repairs if it needs any. And if you decide to rent this home, you can rent it for about $2,200 a month. Nick?
Okay, looks like it's I'm gonna guess it's a 2014 mortgage for $343,000. This appendix was filed in 2014 as well. That's kind
And
of.
that's the second, is the first.
The first one was 189. On lend. $80,000 loan be in front of them. It might not have been canceled of the record. I don't see any judgments of liens in there, and I don't know what their balance is, but the LP was filed in 2014, which tells me that for 4 years they haven't been paying their taxes. Could you go to the next page? $7,700 in taxes. If the bank wasn't covering the taxes, that could be 4 years worth of taxes too. So, like I said, make sure you check your taxes. Okay, that includes your utilities.
Why cannot be canceled, Nick? You still have to cancel that as part of the sheriff's sale?
Well, what happens is, as we do the title, and we find it's that mortgage is the second one, we look for the loan policy to show that it insured our mortgage as a first lien. That policy acts as an indemnification for that prior mortgage so that we can get rid of it. Same thing with like if there's prior owner judgments, the same thing happens with that. That's where that loan policy has a protection to the lender. And those indemnifications, just so you know, are used so that the bank can give clear title to the third-party bidders. Just a note of warning here, sometimes the investors do not want to get the title insurance and there's an issue and we get the letter of indemn and they figure they're all right, it's indemnified, we can go ahead. They don't get the policy. 2 years later, they're going to sell the property. And, oh, wow, here's this judgment. Oh, we got this letter of intent from 2 years ago. It's not good anymore. It's used for the moment to get the policy, get the policy. If you have any type of question or clout on the property, get the policy. It's going to protect you from when you go to sell it. Because that same issue is going to be out there. And the next guy is going to look to clear it. And our policy will help to clear that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Overall, this house is in above average condition. Vinyl siding, on the outside, timberline roof, and it seems to be a new roof. Vinyl replacement windows seem to be newer, other than the lamp post on the outside of the exterior. It seems to be a very well-maintained home. Shrubs seem to be overgrown a little bit.
Got that thing right back.
Yeah, get right back up and going. Seems to be well-maintained, look like they put some money into this house.
Next.
All right, next property now is 44 South Woodside Avenue in Bergen, New Jersey. This property is approximately 1,346 square feet. Let's go ahead and see what other data we were able to find. So it is confirmed to be a single family. It has only 2 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. It's an I don't know if that's meant to be updated colonial, but I think at least a little bit of work, if you ask me. The driveway parking is available on this one, has an above ground pool, and the taxes are approximately $8,400. It's located near Washington Jefferson Elementary School. Both are at a 7-star rating, so it's a good school district.
Looks like there's a prison cell under the steps.
Could be, could be. This property can resell for about $325,000 when it's in good shape. You may want to budget almost $60,000 for repairs, and you can get about $2,200 for rent. Okay.
Mortgage looks like it was a 2006 for $285,000. It was a second taken at the same time. It's probably when they bought the house in 2006, which it says it was, so it's a purchase money mortgage, which is a good priority. The LP was filed in 2016. I don't see any other liens on this. Doesn't mean there aren't any. It's just none are coming up on the report. Go to the next page for the taxes, so you can just take a look. 8,399. Okay, you might have a couple of years worth of taxes. So again, check the taxes, check the water, check the sewer, check it all.
Okay, the exterior, this home has wood siding, older T111 siding, recommended to be changed or painted. The windows seem to be older, vinyl replacement windows should be changed. The gutters and leaders are older on this house too. They're in fair condition, but recommended to be changed. And the roof is a 3-tab shingle in poor condition, should be replaced.
From a lending standpoint, this actually looks like a particularly good deal. So if we're lending, again, if we go off 8% of the purchase, assuming all these numbers, we lend 160 of the purchase. Add in 59,000 for reno, that's a total loan amount of 219. So again, if we're lending off of 70% of the after repair value, we have to appraise for 312,000 or more. So based on those comps, it seems like a pretty solid deal.
And just remember, when you buy a home at the sheriff's sale, you're buying it in the as-is condition. Whatever the state of repairs are at the house, you own it, including an underground oil tank or anything else that may be wrong with the home. You can't go back and ask the sheriff to vacate the sale because you find something wrong with the home after you buy it. Next.
Okay, our next property now is 18 Cleveland Avenue in Waldwick. This ranch style home is approximately 1,165 square feet. On our next slide, we're able to confirm that this is a single family home with 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. It does have garage parking. This property was listed as a short sale at one point, so you can possibly get in touch with the listing agent and find out more details. The property taxes on this are approximately $8,725 per year. The home can be resold for almost $350 or maybe a little more when it's in good condition, and you need to budget about $65,000 for repairs, and you can get over $3,200 for rent if you decide to go that route.
Okay. 312,000 mortgage from 2012. This looks like it went into foreclosure around 2011. They filed a list pendants then, and probably didn't settle it, and refiled in 2016. Wow. So this is just something you need to be careful with. I'm just checking the dates. LPs are good for 5 years till you get the final judgment. If there's a gap between the LPs and it's the same docket, you have to worry about something falling in the middle of it. But looks like they managed to do it within the 5 years. So that's good. That's a good thing. Who knows what the judgment is? Go to the next page. And we have taxes are 87. So I don't think they would have not paid the taxes since 2011. If they didn't, you're in worse shape than you think because the taxes will be more than the property's worth. But there might be a tax sale out there and somebody might have paid something. So just be careful of it. Otherwise, we're good.
Okay. This home is an older Cape built in 1948, has wood shake siding, that could be either painted or replaced. The roof seems to be in fair condition, 3-tab shingle, and overall it's in average condition. Seems to like maybe have a new heating system based on a new pipe coming up through the roof, ventilation pipe.
Again, for the taxes, as Nick says, the simple way to do it is just to call the tax collector and find out if there's any outstanding taxes. And if there was a tax sale certificate that was issued, that's a lien against the property that will also need to get paid. So simply call the tax office and find out if there's any taxes the water and sewer due. Next.
Our next property is 563 Kenwood Place in Teaneck. This home is approximately 1,365 square feet. So look at our next slide. All right, well, this home is a single family home with 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. There is a driveway on this property. It's close to parks and transportation. Taxes in this house are approximately $9,200 a year. And it is confirmed to be 1,365 square feet. This home could be resold for just over $300,000 when it's in good condition. You want to budget about $52,500 for repairs, and you can get about $2,500 in rent for this property.
$290,000 mortgage from 2016. It's not telling me when the LP was filed, but there was a new assignment in 2014. So it's not too bad. Go to the next page. It's only one lien. $9,200 out of taxes. No other liens showing on the property. One of the things Joe said before about like the oil tank, you can always call the building department in the town to see what permits were pulled, so you can see if they changed from oil to gas. And they might have something on record whether there was an oil tank there or not. And then you know a little bit more of what you're getting into.
Overall condition of this house is in above average condition. It's wood siding that's in excellent shape. Seems to have vinyl replacement windows that are in fair condition, and a newer timberline roof that seems to be fairly well conditioned.
Now, regarding the condition of the property, as Nick just said, if you want, you can actually go to the building department and speak to the building inspector and ask them if there's any open permits on this property, because if there are any open permits, you will have to eventually close them once you buy the property. You take subject to those open permits. You can do what's called an OPRA request, an Open Public Record Act request, and the municipality is obligated to provide you with that information within 10 days of submitting that request. You can do it online too, most times. Next.
Our next property now is 12 Briarcliff Road in Tenafly, New Jersey. This home appears to be small, but it's actually a very large home. It's 1,830 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide. All right, so this is a single family home with 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. Confirmed square footage is 1,830. Has a 2-car garage, with, so there's definitely lots of parking for this one, even the driveway. It's located near J. Spencer Smith Elementary, which is a 9-star school system. So this is a really good town for anyone that's looking to raise a family. Taxes on this one are really high, $17,766. Like Nick would say, check those taxes. The property can be resold in good condition for around $900,000. You should budget about $115,000 for repairs, and you can get as much as $4,600 in rent, believe it or not, for this property.
$880,000 for 2007 lien. There is a second for 185, so the value of the property is up there if they're going to give you that much money. This pendants was filed in 2015. That's 3 years that it's been in foreclosure. So really check those taxes. Make sure there's no liens. Go to the next page. No other liens showing there. So taxes are 17.7. That's a lot.
This home is in average condition. It has a brick face on the bottom portion of the home and vinyl siding on the gable. Windows look to be older vinyl no replacements. Roof is a 3-tab shingle roof. Overall, the house was in average condition with no visible signs of need repair.
Let's see the house.
First, yeah, so I can see that without reading. So, oh, wow.
Good, man.
Yeah, I'll go over the numbers real quick. From a lending standpoint, percentage-wise, it's not great, but I mean, there's good margins because it's such a high balance. So if we were to lend on this property at 80% of the purchase, assuming these numbers, we can lend at 500,000 on the purchase, so you'd be putting 125 down. And the $115,000 reno, the total loan amount would be 615,000. So it'd have to appraise for it, based off of 70% there. If we lend off of, it would have to appraise for 80 or more. And this seems like particularly, okay deal.
Look, I'm special, just so you know, okay?
Those glasses are pretty special.
Yeah, they're cheaters.
There you go. All right, so our next property now is 325 Beechwood Place in Leonia. This home is approximately 1,632 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into the next slide. Single family residence with 3 bedrooms and 1.5 baths. There is parking and garage and the driveway for this one. It was sold in as-is condition at one point, so be wary of that. It may need some repairs. The buyer is responsible for all of the municipal certificates on this when it was listed on the MLS. So that tells me that it probably needed some work, a lot of work probably, and it was listed as a short sale. So if it was a short sale, you can always reach out to the whole listing agent, get some more data from them. Taxes in this house are $11,485. The after repair value of this home is $450,000. The repair budget for it is $70,000, and you can rent it for about $3,400 a month.
Okay, title wise, the mortgage is from 2006, is a $528,000 loan. Looks like they went into foreclosure in 2009. That's when that first list balance was filed. Second one was filed 2014. Chances are with this, it's more than that 5-year gap that they probably reinstated or worked out a modification in 2009 and then refilled so that the 2014 would be a new docket. But that's something we would look at when we're doing title, and we should be all right with it.
But Nick, someone could actually have been in this house since 2009 without paying the mortgage.
Could have been, yeah. I know someone who's been in their house since 2009 without paying the mortgage.
And it's 2018 now, so that's why we have this backup here in New Jersey.
Yes.
Guys, I'm sorry I was away for a minute, but I did want you guys to talk a little bit about the counties that we're covering, Bergen, Union, and Hudson, and how the opportunities that it presents in these counties. Whether you're East or Western Union County, you have a different makeup in these communities. But again, we're trying to pick assets for our audience that are in good communities and good neighborhoods, good school systems, and accessible by train. So as we move forward, we'll try to give you updates. This expert crew is worldwide, and we do have people tuning in all over the country that may be specific.
That's all right. Yeah, I have no idea where I was. So.
Just went over the mortgage.
Yeah, so 2009 was the first LP, and they probably got a modification, would be my guess, and then they moved on and refilled, went back into foreclosure in 2014. Hopefully the taxes will take care of. But if not, you're looking at 4 years worth of taxes at 11.4 a year. That's a lot of money. So make sure you at least call the tax collector and check the taxes. And I am done with that.
Okay. This home seems to have several updates on the exterior of the house, the new timberline roof. The vinyl siding seems to be newer. The gutters and leaders seem to be newer. The exterior of this house was in above average condition and well maintained. And there was no visible signs of needed repair on the exterior.
Next.
All right, our next property now is 17 Prospect Avenue in Little Ferry. This property is approximately 1,101 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide. So Little Ferry is known for having a lot of flood zones, so this home could be also very close to a flood zone. It's located near the Hackensack River, so be careful with this property in case you do decide to bid on it. The home is confirmed to be 1,100 square feet, and there is parking, and there's a garage as well. Taxes on this property are approximately $7,901 per year. The after repair value of this home is $350,000. The repair budget on this one should be about $60,000, and you can rent this home for about $2,200. Now, Little Ferry is obviously a more affordable blue-collar town in Bergen County. This is one of the most expensive counties to live in. So it is known for flooding, but they do have good schools and good neighborhoods.
Well, one thing you can see from the picture too, Louis, is that it appears that they raised the house. So they've taken into account and tried to alleviate the flooding issues.
We'll see that.
One of the things you can do is, and it's not expensive, just order a flood search. They're like between $10 and $20. You know, and then you'll know if you're in a flood zone. It'll tell you whether or not you're going to need flood insurance as well. That's something you have to consider when you're buying a house in the zone, is that you need to cover with flood insurance, because you will not get a mortgage unless you have it. And looking at this, it's a 2006 mortgage for $288. I do not see that when the LP was filed, so there's no, there it is, 2016 the LP was filed. So you might have 2 years worth of taxes. That means they paid 10 years into the loan, so the amount due on this would be low as well. If I was looking at this for a purchase, I would say, yeah, let's check this out. Can't be too bad. Taxes being almost $8,000 a year. If you do have 2 years, you're looking at about $16,000 there. Make sure again you check especially the flood zone, which you can do ahead of time. You just go to my office, you can order a flood search. Like I said, they're very inexpensive, and at least you know whether or not you want to bid on this, or if you want to have the issue of the flood.
This home was built in 1933. It was vacant the day we drove by it. The exterior of the house was to be found in average condition. It has a new timberline roof. Windows are vinyl replacement windows that look to be in good shape. The siding is a wood-shaped siding that was in average condition. Front porch was redone with limestone and brick with the vinyl handrails.
And I'll mention, if you want to get a really, really rough idea, if you don't do a search, you just want to see if you're in a flood zone, you can actually just Google search. Again, it's a real rough idea, but it's actually a FEMA website that they list, you know, the areas, and they say what elevation you're at. Obviously, you need to know specifically about the property, but that's kind of a good tool to just kind of get a real rough idea if it is in a flood zone or not.
Next.
That's great.
We're in Hudson County.
All right, our next property now is 76 West 12th Street in Bayonne. This is a single-family home with 966 square feet, and there appears to be a parking space. So let's go ahead and jump into our next slide. All right. As it is in together. This particular single family does seem to have one, and but that's it's sold in as is condition, so you got to be careful with that. It looks like there are some notices on the window of the home possibly being vacant. It's walking distance to private and public schools, and this house can be sold for about $330,000 when it's in renovated condition. You may want to budget at least $45,000 for repairs, but you can get as much as $2,800 a month in rent. That's pretty good.
Okay. Well, just make a statement about vacant properties. There's a charge now for vacant properties that goes on municipal, and you have to make sure you get that cleared off. It's usually $500 fee because it's vacant. Just on account it's vacant. I love it. municipalities can do what they want. 2007 mortgage for 316. It's been assigned, last assignment was 2016. I don't see an LP filed. But they have an auction date of Thursday with an unpaid balance of 430,000. So that just means that that's what their judgment will be out. Doesn't mean that that's what they're going to sell it for. They're looking to recoup what they can on the loan, but they have to stay within the reasonable market value of the property. So figure out what you want to bid when you want to bid, and then go from there. Remember, there's $9,000 taxes, so check your taxes. And municipality. He owns a nice tight community. Everything's on top of each other. Everybody knows everybody in Bayonne. That was my summer home. First Street.
Okay, this house was built in 1962. It was also vacant. Exterior of the house has aluminum siding in fair condition. It could be painted instead of changing it for curb appeal. The roof is an older roof, 3-tab in very poor condition. Recommended to be replaced. Windows are older wood windows, which are still functional, but recommend to be changed. Front porch is in average condition.
Corey? Oh, he's moving.
The next property.
That's probably, yeah, I thought we were on that one.
Sure.
Next property.
Our next property now is 25 Bergen Avenue, Jersey City. This is a really nice looking brick, what appears to be a multi-family. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide.
Or it's a half a duplex.
Yeah, it's one of the multi-half duplexes.
That's two family.
Yeah, so this particular home is a two-family property, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, located close to schools and shopping centers, which all of Jersey City pretty much is. Parking is available, which is definitely a plus, and it's located within walking distance to medical facilities, schools, and library. Taxes on this are approximately $6,007 a year. This home can be resold for at least $305,000. Maybe you want to budget $52,000 in repairs. Your rent range for this home is at least $2,400 per month. Now, I do think it's only one side of the duplex of the building. That's a common thing in Jersey City, but it's got a real nice curb appeal. So I would definitely strongly suggest this one for an investor.
It's a two-family on one side?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because of different colors.
Yeah, I'll try to find out and I'll come back and let you know.
I think telltale signs, the
Things
doors
like-
are different and the roofs are different colors.
So
I think, as Steve said,
I
right
don't know,
up
the
here
whole
though,
building would be the
I
same.
think the door is marked. I think it is on the left-hand side, so.
A lot of times it's only 25 by 100. It's on one side.
Okay.
So would that be a two-family on that left side?
Yeah.
Yes, the red door is our property.
So it's actually a four-family building.
Yes,
If you got both sides, it'd be a nice deal.
but that property will sell, without a doubt.
100%.
That's in Jersey City.
It's up and coming Jersey City. Hot commodities.
Small
Okay.
mortgage too.
Well, the unpaid balance is 246. So that's not bad at all. 181 was the mortgage from 2006. Doesn't say when the LP was filed, but it would be, and it being a two-family, this might have a lot of interest. Make sure you check your taxes, make sure you check tax sale certificates, get everything, all the information you can on this if you're gonna bid on it. Looks like a good bid now. When's the sale?
This unit is a half of a duplex, which has brick-faced front and average condition. Windows look to be in decent shape. Front steps are in average condition, but need painting. Overall exterior is in average condition with no needed repair.
From a lending standpoint, I like the fact that the comps are a little tighter together. And based off the numbers, so we're lending 80% of the 200,000. It'd be 160,000 we can lend on the purchase. So you'd be putting 40,000 down. We'd add in the 52,000 of reno. It'd be a total loan amount of 212,000. And based off of lending 7% of the after repair value, it would have to appraise for 302,000 or more, which is actually at the bottom part of those comps, which is good to see from a lending standpoint.
And just remember, once you buy this property, if there are tenants in the property, you take subject to those tenants. If they're month to month, or if they have a written lease, you have to abide by whatever the terms of their leases are. Now, if it's a written lease, of course, you have to wait until that lease is up before you can remove the tenant. If it's month to month, there are certain ways that we can get tenants out, either through increasing the rent, trying to give them cash to move if you don't want to keep them there, or you try to negotiate a rental with them if they appear to be good tenants and you want to keep them.
Can you evict them, Jeff?
You cannot evict them unless they're doing, they don't pay their rent, or you're intending to move into one of the apartments and it's a month to month. In that situation, if you're planning to move in, it's a month to month, and you can give them 60 days notice and they have to vacate. If there's a written lease, you can't remove them until the lease is up.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if we were not clear, these assets are coming to sale this week in Hudson, Union, and Bergen counties. That would be Hudson on Thursday, Union tomorrow, and Bergen on Friday.
Our next property now is 259 Beach Street in Kearney. This property is approximately 1,320 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. On the next slide, we're able to confirm that this is a single-family home. There is no parking with this property. And the square footage is confirmed at 1320. Property was built back in 1920, and it's located near all the schools and is within walking distance to a nice playground. Taxes are $7,394 on this property. The home can be resold for $285,000 after repairs, and you want to budget $55,000 for those repairs. And the home can be rented for $2,200 a month. Now, parking is a big deal in towns like these. So this particular home doesn't have any, but there may be a chance where there may be an opportunity for you to either get a driveway maybe permitted in the front, like they do in some places and some towns. They definitely want cars off the street, so that might be an opportunity with this house as well.
Tight house. Mortgage was in 2007 for 231. Their unpaid balance is 507 with the sale going on. But that's, you can see that's not what they're really going to settle with. They'll have a number in mind. If you can get it for the price that we're thinking, the 180, you'd be in great shape. I don't see the recording of the LP, but taxes are 7,300, almost 7,400. So make sure you check them again, and it's very important. That's why I keep saying check your taxes. Even if we give you an investment report, we don't check the taxes. We tell you who owns it and what other liens are on the property, so you have an idea of what you're looking at.
And then what impact, if any, could your decision be if there's not a lis pendens filed? How could that impact your decision in buying a property?
Well, if there's no lis pendens on record, that means any judgment that comes up is attached to the house. And you have to make sure that proper service was done by the attorneys when they foreclose the mortgage. The lis pendens is a cutoff date. That's what that's used for. So once they default and they file their complaint, they file lis pendens, which means that there's a suit pending. Any judgment that comes against that borrower, which would be filed in the upper court, cannot attach to the property. If that lis pendens expires, not necessarily the judgments that were filed during the validity of the lis pendens, but the ones filed after would then attach to the property, and you would get it subject to. Anything that is going to be subject to the property is supposed to be announced at the beginning of the sheriff's sale, so you have an idea of what everything is. So just, do your due diligence, check your taxes, and see what the Jersey construction crew has to say.
Okay, this house has aluminum siding on it that could be painted. The soffit and all the fascia work seems to be newly wrapped and in very good condition. The roof on the gable ends, because the main roof has a flat roof and wasn't visible the time of inspection has the average condition roof, and there's a front retaining wall that needs to be repaired or replaced.
I like Beach Street and Kearney too, by the way. Uncle who lived on
All right, our next property now is 505 Fifth Street in Union City. This is a really large building, 3,150 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. All right, well, this is categorized as a 4-unit property. There is no parking on this one, unfortunately, but it's a 10-bedroom, 4-bath row house attached on both sides. The taxes on this one are $13,281 a year. Property was built back in 1900, and it's located near a lot of schools, the public schools. This home can be resold for approximately $590,000. You may want to budget close to $100,000 for repairs, and the rent range for this home is at least $4,600 a month.
Sounds like a nice income property. 2007 mortgage at 432. The unpaid balance is 690. Again, that's the judgment, not what they're going to take for your bid. So just, bid reasonably, and you should be able to pick it up. Something like this, I would think more people would be bidding on because they're looking for the income. And definitely check your taxes at 13.2. There could be something there. And water and sewer, because you do have 4 units. So if the tenants aren't paying and you're not paying, it depends on how the building is. Sometimes it's a common water and it's included in the rent. Sometimes it's not. You can find that out through the town by just making a couple of phone calls.
The exterior of this building is brick and not needed of repair, but it looks like it can use a good power washing. The windows seem to be vinyl replacement windows that were changed some time ago, but in fairly functional condition. The roof is a flat roof and not visible in time of inspection.
I'll talk about the numbers real quick since this one is a higher balance and it really fluctuates with the comps. So again, going off these numbers, assuming we go by these, if we're lending on the purchase, lending 80% of it, we can lend $312,000 on a $390,000 purchase. Add in the repair estimate.
Clint Eastwood just showed up.
That's right.
Adding in the $95,000, that would be a total loan amount of $407,000. So if we're lending on up to 70% they have to repair, it have to appraise for $580 or more. So it really depends on where it comes in that broad range of comps. So the appraisal on this one would be once we get that back, it's kind of what we're going to lend off of. So it really depends on what that comes in at.
Next.
All right, our next property now is 172 Orient Street in Bayonne. This property is approximately 1,280 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide and see what else we find. So this property is confirmed to be a 2-family home with 5 bedrooms and 2 baths. There is garage parking on this home. There is an oil tank also, but it's above the ground in the basement. It's in a quiet neighborhood and it's close to school and transportation. Taxes on this are $6,954 a year. This home can be resold for $345,000 when it's in good condition. You want to budget $55,000 for repairs, and you can get $2,600 plus for rent on this property.
I would make sure with that new oil tank that the old one wasn't underground, because that could be an issue. You got a new one, it's above ground. So you're not going to sink anyone in the ground again. But if there is an old one underground, it could be an issue, especially in Bayonne.
And tens of thousands of dollars to remediate.
Yeah. I know of one property that I was working on in Bayonne, and there was an old oil tank, and it was under the telephone pole. So they had to get PSE&G to it's a nightmare. But I didn't see a telephone pole in front of this house, so you're in pretty good shape. The judgment on this is $217, which isn't too bad, considering the mortgage was $222. in 2010. They don't tell me when the LP was filed, but none seem to be any other liens on here, and the taxes are 6,600 about. So just make sure you check everything, especially that oil tank. There's nothing wrong with using oil, just if it's in the ground, it could have caused a problem.
And could be hazardous financially and environmentally.
Well, not only
Yeah.
because the houses are so close together there, God forbid, it leaked under other buildings.
Legally as well.
Just go to the building department and ask if there's any closed permits for the removal or decommissioning of an underground tank. If the tank's there, if it's been decommissioned in place, then you got to reconsider because you might not want to buy a property with a decommissioned tank in place.
You have to remove it nowadays. So even if they find that there's one there, it has to be removed.
No, it doesn't. That's not the law.
I'm having all kinds of issues with properties that people are buying, and there is a tank there, you know it's there, and now when you're selling it, it has to be removed.
Only in certain towns, septic tanks have to be removed,
Yeah.
but there's no requirement that an underground oil tank be removed unless there's contamination.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
valuable
less.
information you will only get here. Only going to get that information here. Okay, let's go.
This house was built in 1910. It's 1,280 square foot. The exterior of the house has vinyl siding and trim work that is in above average condition. The garage door is in average condition. The front porch and the railing are above average condition. The roof has a timberline type new roof, and there was no visible signs of repairs to the exterior.
All right, next. What's this?
Oops.
So who's telling me that?
I had the issue when I did my driveway. I had 2 oil tanks in it, and they made me remove them. They were already remediated and enforced. I'm like, what?
Well, the buyers issues.
No, I was just doing my driveway. And town came in with the state and said I had to remove the tanks there. They already had permits for.
Okay, we're up.
Full of sand, but
What?
they made me remove them. I was like, wow.
Our next property now is 228 74th Street in North Bergen. This is a large brick colonial style home with 3,596 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide and see what other information we pulled up. So it appears that this home is a 3-family home, 7 bedrooms, 3 baths, fully finished basement located near transportation, and there is parking. This home has $12,738 a year taxes. The home can be resold for $500 when it's repaired. The repair budget on this home is approximately $80,000 if it needs that much, and the rent for this home could be as high as $4,500.
Where's that third apartment? Up there, and the small little windows? Sorry. Okay. The mortgage on this is from 2000. It was a $295,000 loan. It was a second foreclosure. Sovereign is now at Santander Bank. So they would be the ones foreclosing unless they transferred, assigned the money to somebody else. I do not see when the LP was filed, so we don't know what else is going on. And the taxes are, wow, 12,738. A lot of taxes. Make sure you check the taxes, but this is a 3-family, so.
Nick, do you live on the 3rd floor or the basement in this?
I don't know. My guess would be the 3rd floor. You know,
I was gonna say,
I mean, it looks, I have no idea. We'd have to go figure it out. But maybe you can make it into a 4-family, like going into the basement.
Yes, we've
I
seen
think
some
the
very
trolls are
creative.
in the basement and the hobbits are up on the top.
Yes. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we want to be very careful. There's been a lot of creative flips and construction jobs in North Bergen where single families have been turned into 4 families. property. So again, beware, this would definitely be something I'd want to look at as well.
Yeah, check with your building department. The engineers there should know what it's supposed to be. If it's supposed to be a 3-family and it's a 4, and you have it, you have an illegal apartment taken back to be able to use.
This house was built in 1911. Exterior of the building is in fair condition, other than the brick face needing a good power washing and painting. The gables are wood siding and needed to be painted. Some repairs are needed to the soffits and trim work on the building. Windows look to be in above average condition.
From a lending standpoint, that's a pretty solid deal. So if, assuming numbers, we land on 330,000, 8% of that, which would be 264,000. If you add in the $80,000 reno, the total loan amount of 344,000. So we have to appraise for 491 or more, which is at the bottom side of these comps. So it's safe to say that appraisal should come back where you need it to fill in the full amount.
Our next property now is 551 55th Street in West New York. Go ahead and jump into our next slide. This 2-family home has 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. There is no parking available on this property. It was also listed as a short sale on the MLS, and it claimed to be in need of repairs. This property also has an underground oil tank, so be careful with that. Taxes on this home are $11,060. The home could be resold for just around $400,000. The repair estimate for this is $80,000, and the rent range for this is $3,200 a month.
So it looks like we have a mortgage from 2008 that was 264,000. Even though our judgment is 530, it just tells me there's a long time that they haven't been paying. Taxes, 11,000 a year. So make sure you check them. I don't see any other liens on here, at least with this report, but again, we would check everything to make sure. My question would be the oil tank.
The exterior of this home has a brick face on the first floor and vinyl siding on the second, which is in above average condition. The roof is a flat roof. We could not be viewed at the time of viewing of the house. Windows seem to be older wood replacements. It could use an updated to a new energy efficient window.
If you're planning on buying this and renovating it and reselling it, you should anticipate that a buyer is going to ask for that underground oil tank to be removed. So you should put that in with your cost factor.
Our next property now is 6715 Durham Avenue in North Bergen. This home is approximately 2,376 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. All right, here we're able to confirm that the home is a 2-family home with 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. There is no parking on this one. It's a smaller home, but it's in need of some minor repairs as per the MLS. Offers were subject to bank approval as well. So this was listed as a short sale. So you can go ahead and get some more information from the listing agent. And taxes on this property are really low, $3,596 per year. Hopefully that's correct. Nick will check that for us. The after repair value in this home was $410,000. You may want to budget $45,000 for repairs, and the rent range on this home is about $3,000 per month.
So we have a 2007 mortgage at 364. I don't see, they're not telling me when the LP was filed. But they are telling me that the unpaid balance is 478. The issue with the short sale might have been that there's a 2007 second mortgage for 91,000. So short sales, typically the first mortgage will come up with what they're going to accept, but they're not going to allow anybody else to get any money, especially a second. So they have to get on board and allow theirs to be wiped out. And sometimes they beat up everybody else, like the attorneys and the realtors on their commissions and fees. The taxes on here are $7,790. So just be careful with that and make sure you check. I don't see any other lien on here, according to this, so we're good to go to, Jersey Strong.
Okay, the exterior of this home is a brick face facade, which is recently painted. The windows are vinyl replacement windows in above average condition. And there's no visual signs of repair from the exterior of the home.
Is that air conditioner in the middle of the two windows?
To the wall, yeah.
Okay.
It's unique.
Well, I guess it didn't work, so they put one in the window?
Wasn't enough. 5 looks like 5,000 BPUs both ways there.
Yeah.
Next.
Build up on the BTUs.
Yes.
That's nice.
All right, guys, let's move the pace along a little bit too.
Our next property now is 1209 73rd Street in North Bergen. This home is approximately 2,988 square feet. All right, this home is composed of 2 units, 8 bedrooms in total, 4 baths. This home was also listed as a short sale on the MLS. There is garage parking available in this home. It's located near public schools. Taxes in this home are $11,814 per year. The after repair value in this house is $450,000. You may want to budget $65,000 for repairs, and you can get about $3,600 in rent for this home.
Okay, we have a 2011 mortgage for $496. I also have a 2007 mortgage for $496. So it's just a little bit confusing. The upset value was $892. If both these mortgages are the same and open, I don't know why they list it this way. Doesn't make sense to me. But taxes are 11,800. So just make sure you check them. Other than that, I don't see anything else there. Go Jersey.
The exterior of this house has a brick facade in the bottom portion, is in average condition. Seems to have minor repairs and painting needed. The vinyl siding and aluminum wraps and soffits are in average condition and need some repair. The roof is in poor condition and recommended to be replaced.
Go. Now we're in a roll. That's one. Next. You'll bail.
Nice.
Nice porch, so porch.
Okay, our next property now is 341 Avenue E in Bayonne. This home is approximately 2,288 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. Okay, according to our next slide, this is a 2-family home with 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. Garage parking is available. This was also listed as a short sale on the MLS. It's located within walking distance to Nicholas Oresco School, which has a 9-star rating. The taxes in this home are $10,716 per year. The home can be resold for $360,000 when it's in good shape. Budget $50,000 for repairs, and you can get $3,200 in rent a month.
We got a $335,000 mortgage from 206. You don't see an LP filed, but their unpaid balance is $295, so a lot was paid on this. So that's not too bad. So you probably get a good deal on this. Just make sure those taxes of $10,700 are paid, and you're in good shape.
Okay, the exterior of this home is in above average condition and there was no needed sign of repairs.
Outstanding.
Yeah,
Keep it moving, guys.
yeah. Elizabeth, right, for Union now?
Mm-hmm.
Union County.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry for the delay. We have an extended session today, but we want to bring you these quality assets coming to sale this week. Now we're moving to Union County for tomorrow's offerings.
Okay, Bill. Our next property now is 150 Clark Place in Elizabeth. This is a newer style 2-family home that is one of the smaller models that they made. So this property has 8 bedrooms, but it's a funky layout because it has a whole bunch of bedrooms on the second floor, which is connected to the attic. And I believe it has 3 bedrooms on the first floor. There is garage parking available on this one. Property is probably not 5 years old, but it's probably within 5 to 15 years old. It's close to major highways, malls, and airports. Taxes in this home are $12,514 per year, which is a little high. You might be able to get those down because that's what the bigger models pay. This one can be resold for approximately $270,000 when it's in good condition. The repair budget for this is $35,000. The rent for this one could be about $3,000 per month.
So the mortgage was in 2010 for 157.8, and the LP was filed in 2015. The unpaid balance is 150. So you're going to get this property for a good price. Just make sure those taxes are paid and what they're doing. One of the things you have to watch with Elizabeth is the water is private. So being it's private water, it's not included. You have to call the water company itself to find out what's due on the account. And when you do, you should ask about past accounts because each owner has a separate account. If there's a past due prior account, there could be a lien. And that's just about it.
Okay, this home was built in 2000, and the exterior of the home has a stucco facade. It seems to be in above average condition. The roof was a timberline roof in above average condition. There was no needed signs of repairs from the exterior of the home.
Next.
All right, our next property now is 916 Jefferson Avenue in Elizabeth. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our next slide. All right, this is a 4-family home. It's located near public schools. The property is not in a flood zone, but it is also located near a park. The property size is 3,248 square feet. The taxes are $13,790 per year. The home can be resold for $475,000. The repair budget on it is $80,000, and the rent range on this home is $4,000 per month.
Okay, it was a 398 mortgage in 2006. Looks like their unpaid balance is 455. Something funky with this because I'm looking at the report they gave us. It has an LP filed in 2014. But then in 2015, there's a rescission of the list pendants and a notice of default of sale. So I'm not sure what that means. I'd have to read that document. But my guess is something happened. But you got $13,790. It's a 4-family. To me mean that's a win-win.
Yes, sir. And call Nick about that other issue.
Yes, to check the LP.
The exterior of this house has vinyl siding, which is in above average condition. All the trim, soffits, and gutters look to be in relatively good shape and updated. The windows look to be in decent shape. The roof is a timberline roof and in above average condition. The front porch and steps are in good condition. There is a retaining wall in the front yard that may need a little TLC.
Yes, and this property is near the North Elizabeth train station, so I'm sure you'll be able to find people to rent this high area there. That's a nice clean block there, that section of Jefferson.
Yeah, it's good area.
Our next property now is 265 East Third Street in Rahway. This home is approximately 1,248 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. Okay, this is confirmed to be a single-family home with 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. There is driveway parking. It was recently renovated, so that's a good thing. The attic was also used as a storage room, so it is finished. The square footage on this is 1,248 square feet, and the taxes are $7,137 per year. The home can be resold for about $265,000 when it's renovated. The repair budget on this is $60,000, and the rent range for this home is approximately $2,400 a month. Now, this home doesn't look like it's occupied at the moment, but if somebody did renovate this, you can probably expect there to be maybe sheetrock in the home, and that's about it. And everything else probably needs to be replaced because it looks like it's been empty for a little while. So I'm curious to see what Jersey Shore would say about a home like this that's recently renovated but maybe vandalized. But let's talk to Nick first. What do you think?
So it's a 2007 loan at 310 with a 561 unpaid balance that's going for sale. Again, the LP was filed on this one in 2009, refiled in 2015. That's over the 5-year period. So you have to watch out on this one to make sure there's no open things. But then it looks like it was rescinded and refiled in 2016.
Countrywide, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, Bank of America, home mortgage loan
Okay.
servicing. So go figure what they did wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's about it. Taxes, be careful with. It seems a little funky. If you want to look at this, I don't know if I can get you something right away, but there is something that I would be concerned with those LPs being filed the way they were.
Okay, this house was built in 1935. It was vacant. The exterior of the house has vinyl siding, which is in fair condition, but it needs a power washing and possibly some minor repairs. Roof is in poor condition, it needs to be replaced. Some windows are boarded up along with the front doors. Others look to be older vinyl replacement and may need to be replaced and may need to be completely redone. Landscape needs some TLC. And other than that, it's a well-maintained neighborhood. The whole neighborhood was fairly.
From Norway, very nice. I would take Joe Gasco's advice and just tear.
It's okay. Okay, next. Okay, nice, pretty house.
Okay, our next property now is 2655 Hawthorne Avenue in Union. Go ahead and look at our next slide. Okay, this home is a single-family home with 5 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. There is parking on this property. Doesn't appear to be a garage, just a converted garage. And the home is in move-in ready condition, updated bathrooms on the first and second floor, updated central air and the fireplace. Taxes in this home are $10,497 a year. The home can be resold for $380,000 when it's renovated. The repairs on this are approximately $65,000, and the rent for this home is as high as $2,800 per month.
Okay, so the upset on this is 434. The loan was 388 in 2005. I don't see when the LP was filed. Just make sure you check your taxes. Are we good? We're out?
Yeah, hold on.
So delays,
Yeah, we're back.
that's cool.
Chestnut Street.
Let's go.
Our next property now is 1250 Chestnut Street in Roselle. This is a single family home, approximately 2,308 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at that next slide. Okay, this is located in a quiet neighborhood. It does have garage parking. The home is confirmed to be 2,300 square feet, which is pretty large for a Roselle home. Located near Roselle Catholic High School, and also by very close to neighborhood parks. Taxes on this home are $10,000 per year. The after repair value in this house is approximately $250,000. Budget $50,000 for repairs, and you can get $1,900 per month on this property. Now, Roselle is one of those entry-level towns where you can renovate a home and resell it under $300,000, which is really unheard of in most towns. So this is a really good town to do some flipping if that's what you're going after. Okay?
Yeah, the unpaid balance on this is like 76,000, so this looks like a great little deal.
Nice.
I don't see the loan history, they're not showing it, but still, it's 76,000 for what you're saying, that's not bad. Taxes are 10,000, just check the taxes,
Yeah.
make sure you're in good shape.
Yeah, many of those homes along Chestnut Street have been by the same family for decades. I'm familiar with that area.
Okay, this house was built in 1927. Exterior of the house has wood siding that could be painted. It was in fair condition. Windows look to be older vinyl replacements. Roof is a brand new timberline roof or timberline type roof in excellent condition. Front porch is in above average condition.
Next property on our screen is 1201 Woodlawn Avenue in Linden. Let's go ahead and jump into the next slide. Okay, this is a two-family home. There is driveway parking available on this home. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. It has new appliances located near number 2 elementary school, which has a 7-star rating. Taxes on this home are $9,306 per year. The home can be resold for $325,000. Got budget $52,500 for repairs, and you can get as much as $2,800 in rent for this home.
This was a 2010 mortgage at 381.9. The unpaid balance shows at 413. And the taxes, I don't see another lien on there either. So the taxes are 9,300. Just make sure you check them and you should be fine.
The exterior of this house has a vinyl siding in average conditions. Windows are old wood and they need to be replaced. The roof is a 3-tab shingle roof that still could be functional, but probably replaced for sell home.
Good to go.
Next.
Our next property now is 560 Chapman Avenue in Hillside. This home is approximately 1,284 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into the next slide. So this is confirmed to be single-family property, 12,400 square feet is the correct square footage. It's located near George Washington Elementary School, which has a 6-star rating. The home was built back in 1934. It does have driveway parking. Taxes are $6,862 per year. This home can be resold for $225,000 after repairs. You may want to budget $40,000 for those repairs, and the rent range in this home is approximately 1,600 square feet. One of our agents actually purchased a home on this block, and these numbers are actually very on point. So this is a nice property if you're able to get it for that price.
All right, looking at the title on this, the mortgage is 237. I see an LP filed in 2009. I see a rescission of the LP filed in 2016 and a newest pendants filed in 2017. One of my comments I make on this is, if it's a new docket that they went with 2017, sometimes they figure they had the service with the 2009 docket, and there was stuff that was there for the list pendants, and you have to be careful in that little area there that they've named everybody. If you do buy this and you didn't order title, when you do get that bid, order your title. If there's an issue in between there of liens that they forgot to do, that's where we step in and go after the foreclosing attorney, make them do a strict foreclosure, fix the title. Not necessarily that you're going to get out of your bid, but necessary that they have to fix it in order for you to have clear title.
Very well put, Mayor.
The exterior of this home has vinyl siding that is in fair condition with no signs of repairs. You could use a power washing or cleaning. There's gutters missing on the house, and rake boards and fascia boards need to be replaced and wrapped. The roof is in poor condition and needs to be replaced.
Needs work. Next.
Okay, our next property now is 40 Tanglewood Drive in Summit. This home is approximately 2,496 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide.
It's a pretty house.
Yes, this will be popular.
640.
Yeah, so this property is a big single-family home. It's correct at 2,496 square feet. It's located near Franklin Elementary and Governor Livingston High School, which both are 9-star rating schools. The taxes on this home are $18,395 per year. The home can be resold for $950,000. The repair for this home should be around $135,000 plus. The home can be resold for $4,500. I'm sorry, the rent for this home is $4,500 per month. Nick, what's up with the title?
Unpaid balance, $1,005,000. Wow.
Wow.
2001 mortgage at 560. There was an LP filed in 2006. Might have been one filed prior to that because there was a rescission in 2005, 2008, another rescission, 2009, another LP. I would look at this, a rescission in 2011, another LP in 2012. There is a second mortgage for 110 as well. Careful, make sure you check the title on this. I mean, you probably get it for a good buy. I don't think it's going to go for the million, but just be cautious when you're looking at this. This looks like this guy was in and out of foreclosure
Couple
and
times.
a couple times, so
Victim
just
of
be
the
careful.
economy.
Check the taxes because, at 18,300 for taxes, a lot you can lose.
Okay, this house was built in 1959. The exterior of the house is brick face in average condition. Windows are in decent shape. Roof is an older roof, but still in maintainable condition. The front porch is in average condition. There was no signs of needed repairs other than the landscaping that can be removed and cleaned up for curb appeal.
Nice, that'll sell. I'll go back quick.
This should be the last one.
There's no title on this. No title on this one.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Our next property now is 719-21 East 7th Street in Plainfield. This home is approximately 1,234 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at that next slide. So it is confirmed to be single family, 1,234 square feet. The lot size on this is 4,343 square feet. There is a driveway on this property. Taxes are $4,569 per year. It's located within walking distance to Maxton Middle School. This home could be resold for $260,000, and repair budget on this is approximately $45,000, and the rent you can get for this home is about $2,000. Now, I think that the square footage on this home is probably a little more than 1,200, but let's just go with that because it's probably what the tax assessor has on file. No title on this one, so we'll skip right to Jersey Strong.
Okay, exterior of this house has aluminum siding, which is in fair condition. Windows are old vinyl replacement. Front porch is in fair condition and may have some minor repairs. Roof is an older timberline type roof in fair condition.
Do you want to address these questions?
No, actually, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna switch it up because we're running a little low. I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves, take one of those questions, and we're gonna close right on out, okay?
I got three here.
All right? You got just take one of them. Again, I want everyone to pay attention. We do these online cars twice a month. The next one will be on Thursday, 12 noon. Just go to auction.com/online review. You can also find us at the auction.com/event calendar. Luis,
Yes.
introduction, one question quickly, 3 minutes.
Okay, so each one of us.
No, everything, 3 minutes, let's go.
Everyone gets an outro and then a question?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, so as I mentioned earlier, my name is Louis Lima. I'm the broker and CEO of Culture Estate. If you're looking to learn more about purchasing foreclosure properties at sheriff's sales, please find us at culture.estate, or if you're thinking of getting your real estate license, you can also reach us at the same website, culture.estate. I'll go ahead and take one of these questions real quick. Are all properties listed today going to sale? Well, as of right now, all these properties we covered were scheduled for auction, but it could be any last minute adjournment, postponement, and you just never know what you're going to get when you're going out to these sheriff's sales. So I always suggest have more than one option, and hopefully you're able to get something that day. So as of right now, yes, but things could change by the day they go to sale.
Nick?
I'm Nick Timpanero, Fortune Title Agency,
Just lose.
and I'll say, what is the point of title insurance? Is to protect your interest. What is the point of title insurance? It's not pointless. It protects your investment. Because what if they didn't name that construction lien? It's gonna be a lien on property. And if you do find that there's an issue, like I said before, there was something, we got an LOI, he didn't take insurance. When he went to sell it, that problem's still there, that LOI is no good, he's got a lien he has to take care of. Now, so it's an investment you're making, protect your interest, that's title insurance. For what you're getting, it's cheap.
Okay, Joe McNulty, Jersey Strong Construction. How do you come up with an estimated repair cost? Well, a lot of it has to do with the age of the property and experience in doing the work. The older the home is gonna need more of the guts of the home to be repaired. The houses that were built later is mainly cosmetic stuff. And you base it on experience, house in square footage.
Thank you.
My name is Corey Anderson. I'm with First Equity Funding. The only question here really pertains to me is, can the 80% balance left be financed? The answer is yes. We're actually one of the few lenders that can finance sheriff sales. Yes, you win your bid, you put your 20% down. And then it's really on a county by county basis, depending on if they can get the deed cleared in a couple of weeks. And if they can, we can lend on the property within the 30 days you have to pay off the balance. And if you have any additional questions, you can shoot me an email at c.anderson@equityfunding.com.
Hi, my name is Joe Gachko again, Gachko. Sheriff sale properties do not have to be delivered vacant. As we said before, there can be tenants, there can be owners living in them. There are ways to get the tenants and the owners out. One of them is the cash for keys, where you can actually negotiate with the tenant or the owner and ask them to move out and pay them money to do so.
So basically, you give them cash for their keys.
What's the average amount they give to people?
Oh, I don't know.
$5,000,
I usually give around $3.
Yeah. I go for
He's joking, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
go for a buck.
There is no set amount.
It's, again, it's a sad situation. These gentlemen tried to give that occupant or owner, a good way to go. You don't want to make a bad situation even worse. So again, they try to be honest. I know Lewis is getting thousands of dollars.
I call my cousin Randy.
He's never given me $1.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating. We'll be back here on Thursday, 1 p.m. live here at Cultural State for our online re-auction review. On behalf of auction.com, Bill Smith, we're out.
Thank you.